Hello again. So this is my third one on demand avoidance, and I've got Anne with me again, and I might even do a fourth one because I wanted to do one in relation to writing. But I was just going to say, we were talking about it work. Now I was just going to say, do you remember last year, Anne, when I had to go to minor injuries last year, and she told me you need to get to the main hospital this afternoon.
Oh, I know.
Now the hospital is
out.
several miles away, and I just burst into tears. I'd have rather gone home and gone the next day. And I needed to sort transport, and
although you could have got a taxi.
Well, I did it. We did in the end. Anyway, I have other conditions which need advanced preparation and so on, and that's
but the thing is, you didn't know how long you were going to be there,
and that's before all of the stress of waiting around in an unknown ward in a big hospital.
And I was going through hell.
But the nurse in the minor injuries unit, she was really lovely. I told her I was autistic, and she saw me in tears, and she told me to go home, get some lunch, and go up there in the afternoon with you, and so that was fine. I managed to book a taxi, and I got my clothes because I need to have a change of clothes for my hyperhidrosis, and you came with me, and as you did with the minor injuries, and it was still very stressful, but that nurse did take a lot of stress out of it. So having somebody who understands what you're, and kind of can take the heat out of it and the stress out of it. Oh, I've said all that.
To talk to you for something else recently, wasn't it? Your urology thing.
What?
I mean, going in a wheelchair helped.
Yeah. Oh, what, to take us up to the ward? Yeah, but it was waiting to come. But anyway, I've spoken about the length of time it takes me to read a book and the processing delay. I'm now thinking there may be an element of demand avoidance here too. It was awful at school when we had to read and take in a passage or write a story in the classroom.
That's kind of ADHD,
isn't it? It wasn't just ADHD. It was a sort of help. I've got to do it within this sort of time. I've got to produce something,
like
and there was an expectation to produce something, as well as the demands and pressure of time.
Absolutely.
Exams weren't funny enough. Exams didn't, because I prepared for those. But when somebody spontaneously put it on me, and there can also be so when reading so that was in the classroom. They say, "Can you write?" And the shorter the time, if they say, "Could you all read this passage and then answer questions?" I'd be thinking, "Help! I've got to take it in. And I wouldn't be taking.
Me too.
Also, the self-imposed pressure to finish a book. If someone has given you one as a present, I don't mind with you and family, but if somebody said, "Have you read it yet?" or "How did you find it?" I always have a big backlog, but I like to know because I write books, I like to know if somebody. So I've got to somehow square that demand avoidance in others, which may conflict with my own rejection sensitive dysphoria. Maybe they didn't like it and all that. So it's quite.
Talking of deadlines and exams, my art A level, I think I screwed up because I had to do something in a certain time, and it was these funny sort of boiled egg things, and it wasn't the best thing that I'd done, and it was because of the time and demand on it, and I did get an A level.
Yeah, well, I've always found deadlines are demands, like writing or reading something in the class, as mentioned before, and the shorter the deadlines, the worse I became. So if someone gives a long deadline, that's fine. And I always had to do my essays at college as soon as possible, so I wouldn't feel the incapacitating pressure of a looming deadline. Some people with ADHD are the opposite. They do them at the last minute, and I can't work like that because I would just panic and go to pieces. But in terms of
loads of preparation preparation in advance.
And also I thought about when I got published, sorry to, I'm just aware of the time, in terms of being published, I remember all too well the pressure of the follow-up book. So I got the first one published, and then, so it was so exciting getting published and all the fanfare, but that was stressful. But then
I kind of follow up.
But then I probably sabotage my chances of building on that early success, because how do you do it? And also
the psychological pressure.
Oh God, it's 5 minutes. I might have to go anyway. But I was just going to say, I'm going to have to rush through these quickly, because messages can feel demanding. I've noticed that often autistic people tend to write very long messages,
I can't deal with them.
And I'm probably guilty too. But this is also a demand on someone's time and needing a response. Depending on who is giving them, I actually prefer voice notes better than written messages, because I can hear the tone and nuances.
On the subject of messages, I've had people say to me on Facebook, "What are you doing? Where are you?"
Oh no, God, no! I know you do. No, I wouldn't even put. I would block those, because you don't know them very well. But
no, I don't. But sometimes they're not bad people.
But also, agoraphobia is something that we've suffered from a lot, and panic attacks. And I think the fight or flight feelings are exacerbated by the demands of a situation. And like Jane used to say, "See how you feel." That was great, wasn't it? But
definitely.
Not wanting to be trapped in a crowded place, an office, somewhere all day at work, a mode of transport. The situations are endless. Agoraphobics need an exit, a way out, and so do autistics.
And they need their
home
as well.
And I think the two aren't mutually exclusive and are probably associated. And there was somebody who did a quote on the last blog. This is getting very wrong. There was a quote from someone about their spoons. They don't. Split spoons. Yeah. If it's a spoon, you use up too many spoons. But you don't do anything for a week before or afterwards. This person said, and I've always been like that. It's like I get, because with ME, I get post exertional malaise, but also I get pre-exertional malaise, which is like I'm in suspense. Before we have to go away, I can't book anything in that week or the week after.
I can
other people,
in the week, but not if it's the day before.
Anyway, I just wanted to do. Oh God, we've gone into 7 minutes. I might have to go into another one because I really wanted to say
not
about
today though.
No. Well, I'll just add it onto this because it was really interesting. In the role play as a form of coping with demand avoidance, and I don't know if other people have done this, but we have. I've put an accent on the phone to deal with a stressful phone call. I feel better able, and certainly if I'm speaking Scouse or Yorkshire, it gave me confidence.
Do you remember when we went to London?
Yes, we spoke
Scouse.
And also, do you remember we all sometimes speak in the voice of, I won't say because it's a friend of ours who's now no longer with us, in the voice of a strident woman who took no prisoners, and it helps to deal with a sticky or tricky situation such as what would she say anyway. That is all for now. That's I've had to brush over those, but it's just so many things come up for demand avoidance, and it's such a huge area and of interest. So thank you, Anne, for taking part, because I know that and it's great to have a fellow person. So I'll finish that for now, but I do want to do one more thing on demand avoidance, or perhaps two. One is in relation to one of my stories, and another is about somebody else who's done a lot of memes on it. So that's all for now. Bye.